Antlers.
Welcome back to Antlers Deep Podcast. Hey, we always put God first, so actually I'm going to lead it off today giving a word. We're going to turn to Philippians 4:13. It says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. My dad's always told me that ever since I was a little kid. I tell my kids that now. I tell the girls I coach in softball that. So, like I said, before we do anything, we'll always put God first. And now that we've done that, we're going to have some fun now. Okay? We got Brett Hall. All right? The man, the myth, the Coburn legend. I'm telling you. Brett Hall is with us. Brett Hall, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
As Lamar said, I don't know how legendary I am, but I am from Coburn. Grew up there, born and bred in Coburn. I've lived there my entire life, and I'm a Blue Knight.
I don't hold that against you.
Yeah, I know. And I really hope that we get into some of mine and Lamar's personal relationship, because he was a Raider, and we grew up together.
Yeah.
Played a lot of sports together and hung out together. And there's one story in particular that I'm dying to tell about Lamar. But I ended up going to UVA Wise, got my undergraduate degree, went to Appalachian School of Law in Grundy. I prosecuted for a couple of years at Wise County Commonwealth Attorney's Office, and then I got the opportunity, and God led me to become a defense attorney, and I've got offices now in Gate City and Coburn, and the opportunity presented itself back in January for me to throw my hat in the ring and run for Commonwealth Attorney. So
that's awesome.
We've got an election coming up on April the 30th.
April 30th.
It's at Central High School.
Central High School. I remember this.
From 12 to 4 p.m.
12 to 4.
And hopefully I'm successful in that, and that's where I'll be next.
Hey, 12 to 4. If you can't be there and you're on lunch, or they won't give you lunch, tell them you quit for about 5 minutes. Go vote for Brett, and then give him back. Okay, tell him you had a reconsideration.
I've already offered to cover Robert's shift for.
There you go. You did. Well, listen. Before you tell any stories about, we got to start off. Robert, can you go right there, lift up that purple thing right there, and bring me what's underneath that? We're gonna get this part started right, Devin. You know, if we're gonna tell stories, we're gonna make sure we fit the part. You can't look. Don't look.
Okay.
Don't look. Don't look.
I can only imagine.
Bring that here. Well, we'll get this thing started out right. Now you can tell stories. All right, go ahead.
Are we going to start with
that?
Yeah.
You want me to go ahead and start it off?
I believe you should.
Okay,
Let
all right.
me fill in.
All right. So, story behind this cowboy hat, okay? So, I was back in college. I was going to Mountain Empire, and I heard about this rodeo that was happening in Abingdon, Virginia. And I was actually down here at Rocky's talking to Brett, and I said, Brett, you want to go to a rodeo with me? He just looked at me all funny. He said, a rodeo? I said, yeah, a rodeo. He was like, he said, Lamar, he said, listen. He said, well, I don't see too many people like you at the rodeo. I said, we're going. I said, I'll be here. I can't remember the time. I said, I'll pick you up. So I went. When I came down there, I had his cowboy hat on. That's the reason I got the cowboy hat on, right? And my cowboy boots. So I had his cowboy hat on, and he come there. The first thing he did as soon as he seen me, starts laughing, okay? Because I had my cowboy hat on. But we went to that rodeo. We stuck out like a sore thumb, didn't we?
We did. And if I may, from my perspective, when Lamar's talking about my dad, you know, we've owned Lonesome Pine Gun and Pawn Shop down there on the 4-lane for about 34 years now, and I was helping run it at that time. I was in college, and Dad said, hey, there's a fella stopped by here looking for you earlier. I said, who was it? He said, your buddy Lamar. And I said, I ain't seen Lamar in a long time. You know, what does he want? Well, I think he wants you to go to a rodeo. I said, Lamar Steele? And he said, yeah, that's the one. And I said, Dad, I can't go to a rodeo with Lamar Steele. I said, we'll get killed. And he said, why? I said, the same Lamar Steele. And he said, yeah. I said, Lamar's black. And he said, it don't matter. Go have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Texas in 1880 rodeo.
Yeah.
You know? I said, Dad, man, I don't know. And he said, well, go. I said, they might jump on us or something. He said, just swap with them. He said, fight as many of them as you can. Lamar's a big old boy. He want 2 or 3. So we loaded up and and went. And I said, well, hopefully we can kind of lay low and stay in the back, away from everybody. And hey, listen, this one right here, he had, and what he's forgetting to tell you is he had his Wranglers on, and he had this red checkered, looked like a picnic basket, red checkered button-up shirt, and it's tucked into his jeans. And the first thing he does is he hits the front row. Yeah, and it's like Moses when he parted the Red Seas, And we had a blast.
Hey, we did. Every time they come out and shoot, I was going, stay on them, stay on them. It's like this. Hey, we had a good time.
Oh, we had a great time. Really did.
Fun stories, man. Fun stories.
Really did.
How many people was laughing at that, Devin?
I got to check the comments here. I'm looking at the wrong page.
Hey, Dad, why don't you give a shout out while you're looking at that?
Yes.
For a couple guys that's blessed us, doing this and everything, and helped us out doing this.
So if you watch the that little countdown video we did, George West, he's down in East Tennessee. Just does awesome voiceover work, and he done that for us, and just a great guy. So if you ever need that kind of thing, he's your guy. He's got a conservative talk radio show too. I forget the name of it right now. I should have looked that up, but anyway, look him up. George West, the George West Show, I think is a show. He's all over social media and stuff. So, but we thank him. And then tell them about this giveaway we're going to be doing later.
Yep, we're doing a giveaway. It's turkey call. We know turkey season is coming up. We're actually going to draw this at the end of this, okay? So you still have time to get in. All right, go to the post we have on here. Follow the directions how to get entered, and hopefully you win it. All right, we want some more people to get in on this. Have the opportunity to get on this. Not a lot of people got to see it probably. So now that we're live, you can see the post. Go down there, get on this turkey call. Remember, turkey season's coming up.
Yep. Youth weekend is what? 2 weeks, 3 weeks away?
Yeah, this is the second, right? April 2nd?
April 2nd and 3rd, yeah.
April 2nd and 3rd. And we also want to give a shout out to Beverly's Gun and Pawn Shop for, giving us this turkey call to give out this giveaway. Those guys, since we started working with them, but I guess about a month ago now, we went with them. Definitely been a blessing to us. We can't thank them enough for helping us out and on this journey. We really do appreciate them. Like I said, we can't thank. It's definitely been a blessing to us. So, but anyways, turkey season, youth, 2nd and 3rd, right?
Yeah.
Now you just bought Toby a shotgun. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That you got in trouble for.
Well, yeah. I'm not going to go in too much detail. We'll just say that Toby's not the only one that got a shotgun. So that part of the story, I think, is what got me in trouble. But yeah, so, all I had was a 20 gauge, man. I need something I could reach out there and touch them.
Can't just get one shotgun, man.
So what'd you end up getting?
I got a Mossberg 535, shoots the 3.5-inch Magnums. Mm-hmm. It's got the good choke in it. I forgot the name of it now, but I'm excited.
That's what I shoot. I got 12 gauge 535. I used to have 835, and that thing felt like a linebacker, like Ray Lewis was knocking your shoulder out of place. So I dropped down to 535 a little bit, and it's definitely a little bit better.
Well, I started to get the Turkey Tactical, but I love the way it looks. It's got the shell holders and stuff on it, but it was a lot. I was like, man, if my kids ever try to shoot this, they'd be falling on the floor. So
now, do you turkey hunt?
I do. Yeah. I don't enjoy it as good as deer hunting, especially not coon hunting. But but yeah, there's nothing like calling Big Tom in, and I've got the 1187 with the tree bark camo on it. 1988 special.
Yeah, he got the high dollar stuff. And that's top shelf stuff.
Oh, it was high dollar probably back in the day, but when you keep something for 30 years, it's an investment.
Now, see, I'm like Brett. I like turkey hunting, but my heart is I love deer. I love chasing deer and watching their patterns and stuff like that. Which a lot of people say they rather turkey hunt than deer hunt. I don't know. It's hot. It's too hot for me. I'm a big boy. I like cold weather. I don't like sweating and stuff like that. So I like it a little bit fall when it's cool a little bit. It's a little bit better. Now, which one you like? You probably like.
Oh yeah, I like deer hunting.
like deer
by
hunting
far.
better?
It's probably my first year actually getting into turkey hunting. So
Really?
yeah, we probably try to get it done here a little bit. I know we will.
And what about you, Robert?
I'll go with deer.
Deer?
I mean, I do love spring dollar. Mm-hmm. It is fun to get out there and watch stuff start to come up out the
Right.
ground. Dryland fish, I think, a little bit funner than turkey hunting.
See, I like think. I like think. So when you're talking about spring, well, people call them dryland fish or more. Shoot, move out the way. You know, that's what I like. I love dryland fish. I think my godfather actually got me hooked on those. So he told me first time he told me it was dryland fish. You know, I didn't know. I was probably 15 years old. I've never heard of the thing. So it's like, you want to try some dryland fish? I'm thinking, I ain't no fish that was living on dryland. What are you talking about? You know, what kind of fish is that? You know, he's like, man, it's a mushroom. I'm like, well, I didn't know it was a mushroom. You know, but yes, ever since then, I've been addicted to them. What about you?
Deer.
Deer?
We've tried to get into turkey hunting for the past 2 or 3 years. I got the chance through the Old Dominion one-shot program to go on a guided hunt back when I was 15, I think. And I ended up taking a turkey then with my bow, but man, it's hard when you're trying to learn on your own.
Right.
So I'm going to stick with deer.
Yeah, it can be addicting, but it can be frustrating.
Yeah.
Frustrating too.
Yeah.
My brother and I try to make it a point to go once a year. We were down there at his place in Lee County one day, and he called in 15 longbeards that one day, and then you go, you know, in 3 years you don't have a day like that. You know, if you call in one, you're doing good.
Right.
So it can be about the most frustrating thing that I've ever done, especially if they get with hens and they're going away from you.
Yeah.
Or something, you know.
Or you hear them, like, first thing you hear them in the morning, and you yelling back at them, they yelling at you, and you're like, oh, it's going to be a good day. And no, you're like, what in the world?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Sun comes up, they just shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just done. I'm like, what? How do you do that? You know, but it is what it is, I guess. Now, you and your family, let me say family, kill some really nice deer, some mature deer.
Yeah.
Tell us how y'all started, you know, killing mature deer. Like, tell everybody the process of how to even chase deer like that, you know, hunt deer like that.
Well, it's been a process, and I brought some photos when we really get into it. I started when I was 7, and anything went at that point.
Right.
You know, when I was young, but we learned, and I'll just tell you, I hunted as hard this year as I have the past 5 years, and I didn't kill anything. Mm-hmm. So you know, when you see guys with those big bucks, there's a reason for it. You know, and you're blessed to get them. There's a lot of luck that plays into it. You can pretend like you're the best hunter in the world, but when you see guys dragging those big bucks out, it's because they've let them walk. And we've been very fortunate to own some property, and we've got some pretty big tracts of property. So you know, we try to manage, and it's paid off. It's paid off for the years. It really has.
You know, but I don't know if I told y'all this. I actually invited Michael Wardell to watch this. So, so I'm just telling you, you know.
Man, oh man. If I'd known that, I'd have worn my good shirt.
Well, Michael, if you're on here, howdy.
He probably turned it off right after the rodeo.
Yeah. He's like, man, the heck with this. I'm running now. No, I seen a video of him earlier today, and he was actually talking about, you know, the black community. You know, it's our time to, like, tell people our stories about hunting and stuff, and that we deserve to be in the hunting industry and everything. And it really kind of touched me. I was like, man, you know, somebody like that will actually think about other people, you know. And he was telling us about he was saying, like, how he grew up with some people and stuff, and how they hunted, and you know, that's some of his memories came from his childhood, was hunting in the black community and stuff like that. And he was talking about collard greens and everything. I'm like, boy, what you know about collard greens? You don't know about no collard greens. But anyways, I wonder if he had chitlins. Hey, Michael Wardell, if you're watching this, I wonder if you had chitlins. That's when I really know you've been to the cookout. If you had chitlins, you ever had chitlins?
No.
You ever had chitlins?
It ain't gonna happen.
You would? You try some? Hey, Mom, if you're watching this, if they don't say here, try chitlins. Hey, you had chitlins?
No, I haven't, but enough hot sauce, I'll eat anything.
Oh, gosh, man.
Don't you have to, like, beat them out on a stump or something like that?
I know. Well, how my mom does it, you can buy
Read about it.
You gotta take them down to the creek, let the water run through, and you start slinging them.
I thought you never had them.
Take them to the
He told
I didn't
us
say I
that.
didn't know how to do it.
Hey, well, my mom, Well, Ingles, when they used to be, I don't know how she does now because I don't touch him, but they just come this like red
Get in the
tub,
bucket.
and she would bring them in a sink. You know, had one sink full of water, another sink. She would just rinse them out, and then I'm like, my God. And she used to fix them for Thanksgiving and Christmas, sometimes Easter. And me and my dad, we can't stand them. I can't stand the smell of them. The cook. Oh my gosh, it's so sick. You know, when I got married, she told April her initiation was to try a chitlin. Right? It didn't turn out too well. It was bad. And then her grandma tried it. April's grandma come down to Mom's house, and I always call her Grandma. I said, Grandma, if you're gonna be in this family, so you gotta try chitlins. She said, I tried. You know, she was kind of like you. I was like, man, and she was raised old school anyway. They killed their food and everything else. So she tried it. She puked her guts up. I horse laughed, dude. I'm like, no, I can't do it. Now, my mom and brother love them.
I was going to say I'm willing to do it as a campaign deal if it helped me connect with the people.
Oh!
Not now.
Hey, listen.
Not now.
Hey, Briss.
Sorry, Grandma.
Hey, that would be pretty good if you did do that. My mama fixed them. Shoot, gosh. Oh, man, that making me sick thinking about it. And you should do hot sauce and coleslaw. Snack Shack. You know Snack Shack?
That's the only way I
coleslaw?
That is the only way I can eat it.
Snack Shack coleslaw and hot sauce and try it. Oh, man, I've tried it. I really have. I've tried it every way I can't do it.
You from?
I never had them fried. Now my dad has. Because my mom tried to trick my dad. My mom tried to trick my dad. She fixed some breakfast and fried some eggs up, right? She put them in the eggs like he wasn't gonna know about it. You know, that's a totally different texture. You know,
The egg smells
yeah, he ate about it. He wasn't too happy. He spit that out real quick. But yeah, I don't know if you can fry them. I don't know. Marshall, still, if you're watching this, tell us how you fix chitlins.
We like
Fry
frying
anything.
You can't fry anything, huh?
Next podcast.
Next podcast,
We all eat
chitlins.
chitlins.
No, I'm not eating chitlins. No,
You can still get them. They still got them in the grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
no.
In the red tub up there at UGO.
So y'all eat chitlins?
No.
No, I just know where to get them.
They know.
They're in there.
They walk by them on aisle 6 and well, I bet Lamar's tried that.
They got them next to the rabbits.
Rabbits.
Most people don't know they got rabbits up there.
I didn't know they had rabbits.
Yes.
Rabbit.
I'm missing that.
Whole rabbit.
Sometimes
big
they'll
rabbit.
have like the bags of crawfish.
Yes.
Back left corner of the store.
Yep.
Oh wow. So I didn't know
Sometimes
they
they'll
had
have pheasant
Stand-up cooler.
stuff like that.
rabbits. I know they have buffalo.
They had a bunch of them.
Buffalo. Their burgers. You ever had buffalo burger?
No, I've not.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Blue
pretty
City
good.
sells buffalo. It's pretty good stuff.
Yep.
It's really good. It's really good. But if you want to try chitlins, we can make it happen.
I'm down.
You down?
Oh, absolutely.
That's the one. You down?
Absolutely. I'll eat anything, man.
You set for campaigning now.
If it'll get me a vote.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay.
You won't even have to cover my shift. I'll just quit my job. I'll get that vote.
Would you try there?
No, thank you.
Why?
Oh,
You
come
try.
on, Aaron.
You want some memo? You gotta try anything once.
Oh, heck, I'll try it.
Damn
I mean, I'll try.
Okay, hey, there we go. That might be our next podcast.
peer
Try
pressure
chitlins.
right
I know
into
that's
it, man.
bad. That's horrible. Live, my peer pressure of trying chitlins. At least I'm apologizing ahead of time, so don't be mad at me. You know, and just forgive me. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, I told you, but you know, I apologize. Go ahead. What's the comments? I know it's coming. Oh gosh, dude. I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
Oh, April said Lamar's talking about all this food but didn't feed her before work.
Oh man.
Your mom said she's going to fix them. Everybody's going to try them live.
Hey, that sounds good to me.
See?
Okay.
I knew
go.
she would. Now, April, what are you talking about? Listen.
Don't try to talk your way out of it, man.
Well, whose side you on, Brett?
I'm on your side. That's why I'm telling you to be quiet.
Remember, he's an attorney.
Listen, I love you. I'll send some food to you work tonight, okay? I know you wasn't hungry at the moment.
April said they taste like they smell.
That's rough. It's rough. I'm telling you, it's rough.
I don't know about all that.
Now, you already said it. You already said you'd try it, Devin.
I mean, I'll try it. I'm just saying, my son.
He'd be the one who likes it. Man, these are good.
My son gut shot a deer this year, and I gagged for about 15 minutes. I'm just telling you.
I tell you
Just
one
be
time,
ready.
I nicked the stomach on a deer on a shot. I thought he was broadside. He was quartering to me. I nicked the stomach. Now, Dad always helps me get the deer, usually by holding the leg up, but he would not get anywhere near this
He's
deer.
smart enough to back off
He
himself.
was holding the leg like this, his head away from the deer.
You puke?
Now tell
I
me how
wanted
many
to.
times
You're not
you
eating it
gagged.
raw.
How many times you go? Let's see.
How many times did you have to back away from the deer?
About 3 or 4.
You ever gut shot a deer?
Oh yeah, I was a gut shot specialist. Listen, if y'all knew my dad, you'd appreciate this a little bit more. We're little. You can't probably tell behind this table, but we're little guys, and we've got that syndrome, and we just stay amped up. And man, when we see a deer, if we see that it's got a rack, there are times that we think it's gonna get away from us. Dad's worse than I am. Of course, he'd argue with me, but we hit them where we can hit them. You know, we carry big guns, and we hit them where we can hit them. So Lord, I probably gut shot more than I care to remember.
Oh man, the rough ones is like when you do it when it's really cold. You cut that thing open, that steam come and hit you. You find out if you got a weak stomach or not real fast.
Oh, you can't let it bother you though. You should rip them out there real fast. You'll be all right.
Hey, you know what? If you try chillings, you'll try deer intestines. Same thing.
Man, I tried heart and liver one time.
Was it rough?
Oh, it was rough. Yeah.
Heart's the best part of that thing.
Oh,
You like the heart and liver?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Heart's the best
I'll
part.
start saving mine.
Well, I don't want to like that.
You ever watch Meat Eater?
Yeah, sometimes.
He's all the time fixing that heart. I've been wanting to try it.
It's good, man.
I have too, but I just don't know about it. Sometimes I look at them.
They must have the recipe, Devin, because it ain't good.
The texture, I think, is what would get me.
Yeah.
I'm
Are you a
weird.
texture person?
It's a muscle like anything
Yeah.
else in the deer's body. So
It's probably
Let it be known,
the
though,
healthiest part of that deer is probably the heart.
the only thing that I really refuse to eat is celery. So, texture is an issue, but not really.
No vegetable for you.
And then we got against failure.
Now, how do you fix y'all's deer meat? How do y'all do? Y'all like grilling it, frying it?
Either way, I probably prefer frying it. I like to soak it though. I like to soak it overnight. I fry my deer meat the same way as if I was going to put it in a dehydrator and make jerky out of it.
Okay.
I'll soak it overnight and everything that you can imagine, and then just fry it. It's really good that way.
I like grilling it. I like barbecuing it. You rate mine?
No, yeah, of course.
I can't remember. I make some pretty good daggone deer
you
meat
do.
on it. It's just pretty good. I'm gonna have to let y'all try some. You rate it?
I don't know if I ever have yours.
I know, like the Cardinals have. We had a get together. I think it was like a Super Bowl party, and there was like, let's bring like a potluck. So I'm bringing deer meat. I grilled that deer meat. It was good. It didn't last long. They was trying to eat it off the grill. I'm like, man, we gonna have nothing to eat for Super Bowl if y'all keep eating it. But what's y'all's favorite part of the deer? Is it tenderloin?
Oh yeah.
I like this too.
Yeah.
I tell you, my buddy Will,
Heart.
his mom and dad,
It's the heart.
but they
I've got to
had
try
that
it now.
wing restaurant up in Wise for a while, and he had some of the breading left over that they breaded those wings in, and I took a tenderloin down to his house, and we put it in buttermilk and egg mixture and put it in that wing stuff and fried it. Oh man,
Was it good?
It was awesome. People are wanting to know favorite recipes with deer meat.
That's my wife, so I'm going to answer that one.
Okay.
We know it's deer jerky. Come on.
Deer jerky.
Yeah.
Oh, you said recipe?
Yeah.
Well, for my tenderloin, it depends on how you fix it. Some people soak theirs in buttermilk overnight and try to put. I don't do all that stuff. Of course, I trim all the fat and white stuff I can, and I slice mine, of course, in I guess like little steaks, little filet mignons, whatever you want to call it. But seasoning wise, that's its own little season I've created, so I'm not going to tell all of it.
Wow.
But I'll tell you the biggest part of it is it's brown sugar, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Some people, I sometimes use cumin. I ain't really big on that. And then I ain't going to tell you the rest of it because I can't do it. Can't do it.
It's a family secret.
Yeah, and then I actually take sweet red wine, all right, and put it like in a Ziploc bag, sweet red wine, and let it marinate a little bit. Not, some people do it overnight. I just do it. So I turn the grill on, let it get warmed up to temperature or whatever, and then I put it on the grill and grill it. And you fix your deer meat how you want. Some people like it medium rare. Some people like it well done, whatever. And I actually use Sweet Baby Ray honey barbecue sauce to brush on there with it. And so it has like this, glaze with it because from that brown sugar, then plus that barbecue. And I'm telling you, you're welcome to Steele's Dark Meat Kitchen. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, come on over. I teach you a thing or two about cooking in the kitchen. But
Here's the thing. I think probably, if you've had a bad experience with deer meat, it's probably because too much of that white sinew or whatever you want to call it. Is
I think it really makes it gamey.
Oh, yeah.
When you do it
Left
in
on
there.
Yeah, you got to get that
But
off.
we make everything. I mean, I love making chili with deer meat.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I get a
Spaghetti.
I get the roast. I got a weak stomach. I talked about this earlier. So most of the time, I'll get mine. I'll try to take mine to somebody. I just like it being packaged, and I don't have all the equipment to do it the way I want it to do it. But anyway, I get my tenderloins and my back straps, you know, and roast and everything cut up. But the rest of it, I just get in the hamburger, and you can do anything with it. You know? So
Sounds real good. You know, you ever had it for breakfast, like a tenderloin for breakfast? That's one thing I miss, you know, hunting with my godfather and stuff, which, you know, I like to get back into it. But when we used to hunt together, when we got back to his house, and my godmother would have biscuits, homemade biscuits, and tenderloin fixed up. Oh my gosh, I fight somebody right now. Yeah, that's good stuff, babe. That's good stuff, and it's so good. It's just that, and old school. I guess she's old school way to fix it. And I always say it's hard to be an old school lady who can fix a good biscuit. And with that tenderloin with it, that makes a good day. Sometimes I'm like, I don't care about the deer. Let's go eat. You know, but you know, it is what it is.
We took a tenderloin and butterflied it out. Sauteed some onions, bell peppers, and garlic. Put that inside the tenderloin. Wrapped the outside with bacon. Stuck toothpicks in it to hold it all together. Put it on the grill. You ain't gonna get no better.
Now, do
Yeah,
y'all
backstrap.
package y'all's own meat, or do y'all send it on somewhere?
Well, we package it ourselves.
That's
Just-
what I do.
Yeah.
I do it myself too. You do it yourself, or you send it?
Depends. Sometimes I'll do it myself. If I got plenty of time, if I know I'm going to be too busy, I'll just go ahead and send it down.
I tell you,
I usually get in a big hurry and eat it right then and there. That's the best way to do it. You go. Yeah.
it's hard around here. It's hard to get in during deer season. I mean, these guys are usually so full.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
get, you know, I said, me and Abigail were thinking about trying to look for some land to build a house, and I said, when I build one, I'm going to make me a little,
Get
even
you a
if it's a
walk-in cooler.
4x4 walk-in cooler. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna build one.
You ever hung your deer up, like if you killed it in the winter and hung it up, let it hang for a couple of days?
Yeah, if it's cold enough. Yeah.
I think it tastes better. Do you?
I don't know. I don't. All these guys are saying yeah. I don't think that I've ever really could tell the difference.
Right.
I was agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. See, this man right here is smart.
It's just a beard.
Yeah, no.
It's just a beard.
I never really could tell the difference. Really could.
Okay. See, I guess everybody has their own preference and stuff like that. I mean, I'm like Brett. Most of the time, if I kill a deer, and especially that first one of the season, most of the time we try to,
Oh yeah.
at least in that first or a couple of days, it's on the grill getting
Yeah.
cooked and stuff. So, but it's good stuff. It's good stuff. What else? What's got a comment?
Well, no. Ebony said, "How can we eat Bambi?" But you know,
We eat his dad.
One bite.
I don't actually eat Bambi.
She's not.
Bambi
a
gets to
hunter.
grow.
yeah, Bambi gets to grow.
You know, my mom actually didn't like deer meat. Like she didn't like it at all until I fixed it for her one day, and now she likes it. My dad likes it pretty good.
I think it's a head thing for most people. I
Yeah.
mean, there is a different flavor, you know, a little bit, but I think it's a head thing.
Now I'm gonna ask y'all this: you ever like fix like a tenderloin or grill or whatever, and then like use like garlic, shrimp, black pepper, and do like a steak and shrimp, but like a tenderloin of shrimp? You ever done that? You like shrimp?
Yeah.
You like shrimp?
Yeah, I tried.
Y'all making me hungry.
Man, our next live podcast, we might have to have a little feast.
Cooking, yeah.
Yeah, a cooking feast. That sounds good stuff.
I'd kind of rather have tenderloin and the crawdads that he was mentioning from UGO.
Yeah.
So you like seafood?
I like crawdads and shrimp. Some of the other stuff, not as much,
You
but
don't like oysters?
not really.
Only for raw.
Man.
I like. You like oysters? No. I like oysters. I like them. You don't like oysters?
Oh, I love oysters.
See?
I like everything except celery.
They don't have oysters that you can eat in the Guest River. So if I can't catch it myself or kill it myself, I don't
You
usually
know
fool
what?
with it. No, I'm fool with it.
Hey, they do have them. Fishtails has them.
They do?
Yeah, Fishtails have deep fried.
If you're getting
oysters.
oysters off Guest River, it's the wrong thing.
So what have I been eating?
What have you been eating?
That explains it, don't it, Robert?
Well, I gotta know. I know you're a coon hunter.
Yeah.
How'd you get into coon hunting?
Man, 4 years old, my daddy got me into it, and just through the years, you do that with dogs, and we bred our own dogs, trained our own dogs, and man, when I was a kid, we had dogs wasn't worth killing, and then our breeding program got better and better, and we would buy a better one from time to time, and man, we ended up being very competitive. I had a dog, I called her Jewel. She's all over my Facebook page. Anybody who knows me knows that I can't sit down without talking about her. But we placed in the top 20 of the world championship 3 years in a row, and it had never been done. And then I placed her in the top 4 of a different registry and a world championship. And man, we've just had all kinds of success. We pound Cumberland Mountain Fur Fishing Game had a hunt last night, and I went to it, and I won out there last night.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just love it. I mean, there's nothing like it.
Right.
There's really nothing like it. It's kind of like turkey hunting. It can be frustrating too, but you can there are times you can call the dogs off and go home, and times you can't.
Right.
So it can be very frustrating, but man, I just stuck with it. I'd rather do that than anything that I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on this by any means, but can't you qualify for some of that national stuff right here in these local clubs and things like that?
And like I said, there are different registries. Mm-hmm. So some of them require that you win so many times before you can be qualified, and some of them there are just special events. Like Pound will hold a special event. Nicholsville has a club; they'll hold a special event, and if you win that event, then you get to move on to the regionals and then to the finals.
Yeah.
Now, where do they have like regionals and finals? Do they like different
places?
States?
They move it, but what you see a lot is Midwestern states: Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, cornfields, soybeans.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, up there. I mean, if we go tonight and we tree, if we tree 2 coons tonight, we've done something. When you go up there, you can tree 8, 10, 12 coons a night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's
Wow.
crazy.
That's crazy.
And they look like me. They're not little coons.
Yeah, they're nice sized coons.
I tell you, when I was growing up, which I never really had my own dogs. My uncle Tony Pears and stuff. They had dogs. I always went with them. I went with them a lot as a teenager. But I quickly found out that there's a lot of walking involved with coon hunting. You get them.
Man,
they'll tree in the worst, awfulest places that you can ever get to.
We got above a strip bench last night at Old Mine Shaft, and it was rough. But I mean, that's these mountains.
Yeah.
But you take those guys. A lot of your coon hunters are up north, but you bring these guys down here, and they don't expect it. Yeah, they don't expect it.
They got that flat land.
Devin, I don't know if you can show my mug here, but I brought a picture. That's Jewel that I'm talking about. That was actually Pound held the state championship at their club that year, and I won it with her. That's baby Brett, and that's my dad with me there.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Now, is that your main dog you use?
Yeah, she was. She's deceased now, but we've got a male dog now that we mainly is our main dog. Yeah.
Now show us more for us. I know you got some more.
Oh man, I've got some deer and things in there.
We'll see 'em.
Whenever the time presents itself, we're on coon hunting now, man. You can't get me off.
You got scoop around.
He's like, forget deer. We're talking about coon hunting now.
You can't get me off my game, man. You got me talking what I want to talk about.
Now I'm asking this: how hard is it to train a dog, to treat coons and stuff like that?
I would say, and you'll get, if you ask 100 different people, you get 101 different answers, but I would say over 50% of it's just natural.
Okay.
You could have the greatest dog trainer in the world, and there are just some dogs that aren't going to make the cut.
Right.
And you have to be willing to part ways with them when that happens, or give them to somebody with a little bit more patience than you, or somebody. And it may just be a stylistic thing. I like a dog with what we call a big motor. I like a dog that goes a long way. Some people don't like that because they want to be able to hunt and work the next day.
Right.
Then the rest of it is I don't know, kind of like where the red fern grows. You go out and you just put the time in them.
Right. Okay.
But I would say over 50% of it is natural, and that's why your breeding programs are so important.
Gotcha.
So let's see. I know sometimes you'll run up on a slick tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got den trees. I mean, just explain kind of what you're looking into for somebody that's never been coon hunting. You know, tell them about that experience.
Well, the experience is you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. It'd be like eating chitlins, you know.
That's the truth. You're gonna love it, or you're gonna hate it.
It ain't for everybody, but you're going to be out there in the dark, and more nights than not is not going to be a good night. You're going to have a poor night. And if you've ever heard the expression, what Devin's talking about, if you've ever heard the expression barking up the wrong tree, that's where that came from. Because a coon will try to throw a dog off the scent, and it'll go up and put its scent on a tree. And if you don't have a seasoned, smart dog to check that area after they smell that scent on the tree, then they'll bark up that tree and there's nothing in it and the coon has gone on. So then if they make it to their home and they get in a tree that's you see these hollowed out beech trees and different things. I know deer hunting and these coons will get in there and you don't know whether they got them or not, whether they're barking up the right tree or not. The old timers, you smoke them out, but yeah, there you go. Robert's got one there. What'd you come up on that one?
Coons were all over me.
Oh yeah.
This last hunting season, every time I went, there was coons all around me.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why Curtis Cook wants to hang out with me so much.
I tell you, we went one time, and here's what I love about coon hunting. I would rather listen to them run than anything.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just the difference in one running and one treeing. You know, there's a audible difference there. It's so neat to hear. But we was hunting one night, and they had a dog. I mean, a Rowdy. I don't know if you ever hunt with them when they had that Rowdy dog over there in Pound. But great dog. I mean, he was, never treated possum. Didn't. Well, anyway, he would. It may not have been Rowdy. Anyway, good dog. They had it. It would be treed 1 minute, then it would stop, and it'd be treed again, and then it would stop. And anyway, we found out it was a bobcat because of how these things will jump from treetop to treetop. That's wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were talking last night. We were laughing. Of course, some of the best stories you can ever come up with are coon hunting. And we could all go hunting tonight, and when we come back, every one of us tell a different story, and just different tall tales. It's a lot like fishing. But we were laughing last night. In these hunts, generally you hunt 2 hour casts, and it's way too much to explain. But if you get about 200 points per coon, you've done something really good. And hardly ever. I mean, I've hunted this is my 21st season coon hunting, and you'll score over 1,000. I've scored over 1,000 maybe twice in that 21 years. So I had about 800 points, and we had about 20 minutes left to hunt. And everybody else already quit. And Tony had us up there on his property that night.
Yeah.
And we're driving back to the clubhouse, and this coon jumps up out of this creek and crosses right in front of us. And we've got dogs that will smell a 3 or 4 hour trail. Yeah. And if you get a coon like that, it's not going to go far. And this coon, you could see its paw prints on the hardtop. And he said, "Let's get 1,000 points for you, Brett." And I said, "God," I've got enough. I'm good. And he says, "No, let's get 1,000." I said, "Okay." So we turned those dogs loose, and they run that coon for an hour and a half. They run it over 3 miles. That coon never did climb, man. We never did tree that thing, and we watched it. We watched it cross, and it just would not climb. But just memories like that is what you really.
I'll tell you this. I know I've told enough stories, but I had one of my best friends growing up. He had talked this coon dog he had, best in the world. I tell you what, ain't no dog like
I know
my
where
dog.
this is going.
So my uncle said, "Well, tell him to bring it over. We'll go hunting." So anyway, he brings it over, and it's during that day they got it tied up down there, and we had ate a big breakfast that morning, had a bunch of gravy left over. And my papa went down there and fed every bit of the biscuits and gravy to that dog. And so it couldn't do nothing. It couldn't run for stopping every 5 minutes and having to relieve itself. I mean, it was the funniest thing. Well, then it got sprayed by a skunk. And so my uncle said, "Just get the dog and let's go home." And so we got the dog on this four-wheeler. Here, it's been sprayed by a skunk, and we we've got it. Justin's riding with me on the 4-wheeler, and we got this dog in between us, and he's holding it like it's right so it don't take off.
And you can't get rid of that smell.
No,
They say tomato juice. They say no. There's only one thing to take care of skunk smell, and that's time. And throw your stuff away.
Yeah.
That's it. But Devin, you asked a minute ago, and I can get us back to deer hunting now. And
you're fine.
Everybody,
You're fine.
y'all like me, you sit around with your teeth in your mouth because you're like, man, I don't know what this guy's talking about. But it was funny because growing up, I was extremely scared of the dark. And, I'm a man. I didn't want to admit that, especially as a kid. Like, everything just scared the daylights out of me. And what nobody ever caught on to, I got more people in this county started coon hunting because I didn't want to go by myself. Yeah. So I'd say, hey, let me take Aaron, let me take coon hunting tonight. I didn't want to go by myself, and then maybe you didn't want to go tomorrow night, and I did. I say, hey, Robert, you ever been coon hunting? And I'd have to borrow my light back off of you, to give it to Robert, but I'll tell you, I heard y'all's podcast last time, and y'all were talking about bow hunting and bow stories. I was about 16 years old, and I just started driving. And man, at that point, I loved bow hunting. I'd rather have my hand hit with a hammer now, but I loved bow hunting. Man, I went out and bought me a Matthews, one of those solo cams. I spent big money, and that's when the carbon arrows first came out, and boy, I was really something. I wanted to bow hunt. And, bow hunting, you're good up to 20, 30, maybe 40. You flip a quarter at 40 yards, but after that, you're not going to do anything. I had 5 good arrows because I had got bored and shot a squirrel the week before. And don't y'all act like you haven't done that. But our property is down in Scott County, and the way a crow flies, we're about a mile from Twin Springs High School. Okay. And I'm hunting of the evening because I had to go to school that day. I'm about a junior, sophomore, junior in high school, and went down there and I'm deep in the mountains, And I'm hoping that I can kill one about 4 o'clock so I can be out there before dark, but nothing comes by me. And man, it's Friday evening, and I hear this like bass, like this bump, 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 bump bass, and I thought a car was coming down the road. And I said, no, there ain't no car, and it's getting louder. Well, after a while, I heard some people start screaming and squalling. And I swear to you, my 16-year-old mind, I thought that like there were a group of Cherokee Indians somewhere that had like just decided to come back, and they're coming after. I couldn't get out of that tree stand fast enough. I about fell out of it, and all I've got's a bow. Yeah. And this noise just kept following me everywhere I went, and come to find out they were having a homecoming football game at Twin Springs High School. Twin Springs High School, they were beating those drums, when they came in. So I got tickled when y'all were sharing your bow hunting stories last week. I said I've got to tell the guys. I've got to tell that one on myself.
That is pretty.
But I don't know if y'all have ever been in a tree at closing time on an evening hunt. Even at 31 years old, it's a little bit eerie. But about 5 or 6 years ago, I quit being so afraid of the dark, and I think it's because I started paying taxes. I said, well, if something gets me, they're just cheating the government out of money.
Oh, that's hilarious. It does. When I started, bow hunting, in tree stands and stuff like that, it does get a little. The first time I was hunting a tree stand by myself, going in the woods, I couldn't get to that tree stand fast enough because I was like, if I get up there, I'm safe. I can see what's coming in. When you ground level, it's like, man, every man's for himself. But when you up there high, I got the upper advantage now. So yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah, it's definitely. Now I'm just like, heck, I'm gonna go up there. I just take my time and go up there, and I catch myself sleeping, and then next thing I hear a bird or something like that, and wake up in the daylight. I've caught a couple deer looking at me doing that. I'm like, oh well, I got all day. So yeah, I can definitely relate. Did you watch the part where I admitted that I missed a deer? Was it 4 times? I think it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was a dummy deer. Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
That one was a rough one, but that was my first one. I got it though. Got it done.
That's the main thing, ain't it?
Yeah, that's the main thing. I got it done. Tell me if you try some.
You had to go down to Aaron's and get you some more arrows, probably. But.
I tell him, you got any arrows in the back? I was broken in, so I kept 4 arrows. But hey, you got any leftover arrows? I'll cut them when I need to. But times just definitely changed, man. It's crazy how like we play ball against each other, little league and baseball. I tell you what, Brett. At 9 years old, he talk a lot of crap. At 9 years old, I'm like, and that's when I was probably when I could first knew Brett. I'm like, who is this guy? He wasn't tall as nothing either, and he was, but he talked like he was 6 foot tall, bigger than everybody. I mean, but and he could play ball too. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, I mean,
I was laughing about that on the way here. Lamar, man, they'd put him over on third base, and if you didn't hit the ball right into Lamar's glove, that was the ball's fault. Like he wasn't going here and he wasn't going there.
Yeah.
There was one thing on Lamar's mind when he got on that baseball diamond, and that was hitting a home run.
Yeah.
And I can remember my dad telling me, he said, I'd rather watch Lamar and Jonathan Dean play ball more than. And he told me, he said, no offense to you, but he said I'd rather watch them too. He said, because when they swing for the fence. And Lamar had to, I don't know if he watched King Griffey or something growing up, but he had this thing where he let go of the bat halfway through, and he just did his left with his left hand. But he was going to do one of two things. He was going to strike out, or he was going to hit it so far that there was no point in even going to try to hit it.
Man, we had some good times, man. That's some childhood memories right there.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And then, now we're here hunting, talking about hunting and stuff like that on podcasts. That's crazy.
Well, apparently, the talking thing, I think that's probably ran over a little bit into your career, right?
Certainly, certainly has.
Yeah. I wish I could probably seen that guy's gonna be an attorney. He's gonna be an attorney. He talks like one already. He's 9 years old.
I know Brett just from. It's funny because he knew my family for a long time, I guess. But we had the coffee shop up there, and when he was working at the courthouse, he'd come in all the time, and my little boys would be running around there, and him and Toby would always be. Either Toby would be telling him some kind of tale, or Brett would be telling Toby some kind of tale.
Hey, well, we were on the same wavelength. He was about 6 years old at the time, wasn't he? Yeah. But that's something. That's a really good point, and that was something I wanted to make it a point to say here tonight. And I heard you say it on the last podcast. Is and I see my nephews, Gunner and Fletcher. Gunner would rather hunt and fish and raise chickens than to drink water when he's thirsty. And I didn't know how much good it was going to do my heart to see those kids get into something like that. And that's something, and I've even thought, if I'm elected as Commonwealth's attorney, something that I can try to help to give back is through education and through hunters' education and through things like that. And I would rather see a kid pick up the sport of hunting, whether it's coon hunting, deer hunting, or whatever, than anything in the world. And like I said, we've got property, and if you know of somebody, you at home know of somebody that is a kid that would like to get into hunting, I mean, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a deer in this county. We'll take them. We'll take them somewhere.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Love to take them and let them kill a doe. That'd be good for the management and things like that. So, I really hunting probably saved my life on more than one occasion.
Yep.
I can remember New Year's Eve parties and things like that my buddies were going to. I was getting ready to take my dog to the World Hunt or something, and I was getting ready for that. So if we can get the youth started into hunting, I'm all for it.
That's awesome. Actually, we even talked about that. I remember when we first started Antlers Deep, like how we wanted to incorporate the youth, actually want to do something like that. And our part was find somebody who had land that actually will let somebody do that, stuff like that. But, like our first podcast, like I was talking about, I didn't get to go hunting until I was 13, 14 years old. And, there was kids in our school that were young and was like, hey, I'm going to hunt my fall. I didn't have that opportunity,
Right.
And if it wasn't for, my church family, my golf father, saying, hey, and telling my dad, hey, I'll take him hunting and stuff like that, who knows? I've probably been 18 plus years old before I even got to go hunting and stuff, and how I got introduced. And now, we started with this guy, young, me and Cody Brummett.
If it wasn't for you and Cody, I would have never got to go hunting. So.
But, it was, but, taking you hunting and trying to show you what I knew anyways was the big reason was, I didn't have an opportunity to somebody to do that until I was, a young teenager and stuff like that. And now that you offering that and stuff like that, that's amazing that, you would say that and want to do that, because we got too many kids on video games, man, and they don't know what they're missing and stuff like that, and outdoors and stuff.
Well, and that's something that you run into no matter where you go. I've knocked on doors in Appalachia to St. Paul and Pound and everywhere in between, and the drug issue that we have in this county and in this area really and throughout the country is just unbelievable, and if you can save one kid from ending up going down that road, your life is pretty much complete. I heard Chandler Cole say that he had an interview. He went on the Ultimate Fighter, and he said, I want to be an example for kids if kids want to get in the fight game or something like that. If we can change one kid, we've done something. And that's the way I feel about hunting, and when we can all give back in that way.
That's awesome that our generations actually open up their eyes a little bit and say, hey, we want to give back to kids, because you ain't got a lot of people in this generation that don't think like that and stuff and want to get back to the kids, and that's awesome that like I say, you and Chandler wants to do stuff like that. That's a testimony to how our community can come together and do stuff like that for the young youth and stuff. So, but and if there's anything we can help you out with on the steep part, we're all in. I think that'd be fun to do that and stuff. So
we'll get a bunch together and get them some lights, and we'll climb these hills one night.
Yeah. Well, y'all go ahead. I'll wait at the bottom for you. Y'all go ahead. I keep the truck warm. I keep the truck warm.
You'll blow the horn and let us know when you get it. Right?
I blow the horn. Hey, it's
not. Me and you can be in the kitchen getting everything ready when they get back.
I'll say this: when I was a teenager hunting, my uncle was having some health issues that time, problem with his breathing and stuff. So, a lot of times, he'd be back and he'd be tracking them back from the 4-wheelers or the truck or whatever we was in, and my cousin, he'd send my two cousins after the dogs, and there was at some points during the night, usually about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I would get to the point where I'd be, well, I believe I'll just stay back here with you. I'll track the dogs too. So.
And back in those days, you had to pull out this 6-foot-long antenna. It looked like you was WAXM or something, broadcast a radio show. And wherever you did a complete circle, and wherever the beep was the loudest is the direction. And you had no idea how far they were, just you listened to the tone. But now we've got GPS tracking systems, and I can tell you which mailbox they're next to. I mean, it's unbelievable how much it's changed.
A long way.
Yeah.
Technology. We was talking about, when we communicated in Wisdom, we had 2-way radios, like walkie-talkies pretty much in radios. Now you can be, and you had to be. I can even go in my golf and talk. Which one like that? Now I can just be quiet and send a text and leave it on vibrate, and deer never knows you're there. But we had some. We grew up with some challenging stuff. I mean, I know we're not. Sorry, Robert, but we're not all old. But we still have some challenging stuff.
It's a radio.
Hey, but we have some real stuff. But I could imagine, having an antenna and turning it to a beeps, and then like you say, you don't know how far it goes.
No
and you
idea.
just start marching and going to look for it.
It was wild.
Yeah.
I started coon hunting probably before any of you all were born, probably over 40 years ago. And we didn't have any kind of tracking device. No. Grandpap would say, go up to the top of the ridge and listen. And see if you can figure out where the dogs are at. Mm-hmm. And there were times we had to leave them and try to come back the next day and find them.
It was one of those things. You're fast. You can try to keep up with that dog.
Yeah. Speaking of leaving, you ever made a bad shot and had to leave a deer and come back next morning?
Oh yeah.
I can't sleep.
No, yeah.
I'm like wired up. I'm like, man. And then you like replay in your head like 1,000 times. I'm like, I know I made a good shot at deer, or why I didn't bleed. I ain't see a lot of blood. I know I made a good shot at deer, or you feel like that, and then you come find out you missed. Oh God, it's like a girl breaking up with you the first time. Oh God. I've done that. It hurts.
Well, those deer you leave overnight too. That's when you start gutting them, and that first big gust of air comes out.
Yeah, that's rough.
For me, I get a relief if I'm not sure about a shot and come to find out I've missed. I would rather miss as make a bad shot because I've had to do that twice. One was a miss, and the other was actually double lung, but we couldn't find blood. And went back the next day, found blood. It was high hit. If you shoot a lot of 3D, kind of the upper 12, just above mid-body, fixed blade broadhead. I was a little hot on my yardage. but she just went about 120 yards, and that was it. But a bird got to her before we did.
Oh, wow. What question you got? See you reading?
Well, there's just some comments here. I'll say this, and we'll kind of, I mean, if nobody else got anything, we can bring it in for a landing here for too long. But what I was going to say, any good hunter, and when I say good, I just mean somebody that's got some sense, really. Ethics is a big part of hunting. I mean, like you said, I would much rather not wound an animal, as to, nobody wants to do that. But so the awesome thing about hunting when you get your kids there is you're not just teaching them a skill that I'm not getting too political here, but if gas prices gets too much further, I might use a skill for too long. But you're not just teaching them a skill that they'll have for their life, but you're teaching them ethics, you're teaching them patience, you're so much. And that's what, this is actually my mom on here. She said, Brett Hall, you'll make a great Commonwealth attorney. You're all about helping children and keeping them on the right path. A great future for our grandchildren with you in there.
I appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
She's a very special lady. I really have had a good relationship with her. She's taken up with me just like family, just like Toby and I took up. So I really appreciate that coming from her. I really do.
Well, tell us. I know you've told us, about a little bit about it, but tell us a little bit about. What's made you decide to run from Commonwealth and so on.
Well, I guess as Lamar said, I flirted with the idea all through childhood, and I think I was 15 years old when I decided that I wanted to be a prosecutor. And then as I got older and law school became more of a reality, when I was in college, I took the placement test and was blessed to score high enough to get into a lot of different schools, and I chose to go to Appalachian over at Grundy, and I want to give back in some capacity, and now here we are, and something that I have really pushed throughout this whole campaign is what I'm calling common sense justice, and what I mean by that is I've seen the law from both sides. I've been a prosecutor and I've been a defense attorney, and I have seen people who are charged who have no business being charged, or they're overcharged in some way, or they're a good person and they've made a mistake, and or they really want to be rehabilitated in some way. And then I've represented people who are the worst of the worst, who are bad people and really have no place in society. I've been around both types of those people, and I think in order to be a good attorney and to serve your community well, you have to be able to discern between those two groups of people. And if it's somebody who wants help, needs help, a good guy who's made a mistake or whatever, we're going to work with you, right? And if it's somebody that needs to be hammered, we're going to hammer you, right? I don't have that. I'm not able to do that in my job right now, because my job right now is just to make sure everybody gets a fair trial and to represent them as zealously as I can. But in the position of Commonwealth's attorney, you can look at those people and discern between who needs a break. You're the chief law enforcement officer, and I'm very pro law enforcement. I think most of us are, and we've got some really good officers in this county that I want to represent. So, and the thing with children and education, I serve as a guardian ad litem. I represent the interest of children in court in my capacity right now. And until I became that, I really didn't see what some of our kids in this county go through with drugs or violence or abuse and things like that. And that's why I made that such a high priority in my campaign. And I've mentioned it here tonight that I want to give back to kids in that regard. So, anybody can serve their community in many different ways, but the good Lord gave me the gift of gab, as Lamar pointed out, and I think that that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
Yep, that's good.
That's awesome. I know hunting, of course, is not the end all solution, for drugs and violence and things. But like you mentioned earlier, if you can get them interested, I think a lot of stuff, especially from this area, is people, teenagers, young adults have got a lot of time on their hands,
right.
and a lot of times that can end up in, in some not so good pathways. So, but anyway.
Well, Devin, let me show you just so people know that I'm not fibbing to them. This is baby Brett.
Oh man, you should have showed that.
With my first deer.
Oh man,
7 years old, no teeth and all, honey.
Missing the front.
I had a 410. I had a 410 with slugs, and it was too long for me.
Let me see that thing.
Todd Bond cut the stock off with a hacksaw, and when we put a boot on the back of it with that black MSHA approved electrical tape.
Yeah.
And I killed my first deer, but that goes right along with what we're saying. That right there, my dad had me in the woods from the time I was just a baby, and on more than one occasion it saved my life, and I'm convinced of that. So that's why I think that we need to put such a high emphasis through your podcast and through my position and through our position in the communities to help kids get started hunting.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. We're down for it.
Yes.
We're all about it.
That's awesome.
All about it.
Well, Ebony said that she's rooting for you, Brett.
Thank you very much.
Our sister. And,
That's my people.
That's his.
I claim her.
Yeah. But man, we appreciate you coming out.
I appreciate you guys
have
having me.
fun.
I really do. I've enjoyed talking to you about something that I have a little bit of credibility on anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, remind us again about the polls there.
Yeah.
And the date and time.
April 30th. It's a Republican primary. I guess that's why it's sort of an odd date. It's Saturday. April the 30th. The polling location, it's one polling location. It's not your regular precinct. Central High School will be the polling location, and it's open from 12 noon to 4 p.m.
Okay.
Bring your ID and stand in line and check one of the boxes and obviously, I hope that you'll check the one next to my name, and
Yes, yeah.
and then we can get the ball rolling on that.
Good.
Be good.
Well, that'd be plenty of time. You got to be out of the woods turkey hunting by what?
By 12 at that time,
So
yeah.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
So.
You know Kentucky gets to hunt all day, by the way.
Really?
On turkey. Yeah.
I think Virginia splits it
It's
now.
what the last
Do
2
they?
weeks.
Yeah, I
last
think the
2
last 2 weeks.
Okay,
They
well,
start
that may be.
Yeah.
from day one until it ends.
Yeah.
All day long. It's draw for the
Oh, the drawing. Yes. Okay. So let's do this real quick, and then we will. Somebody else talk because I can't talk and type at the same
I
time.
can see that. Yeah, I'm multitasking. I mean, we ain't gonna judge you too much. I'm gonna pray for you. Now, Brett. Now your brother, he hunts too, right?
Oh yeah. I've got a brother who's 13 years my elder. He's responsible for the nephews that I named earlier, and he's the same. He's the same as me. He was in the woods at an early age, and he's one of my best hunting buddies.
Really?
Well, we've had some good ones.
Some good memories?
Yeah, good. We've doubled up a lot, deer and turkey. We shot my dad out of an outhouse one time in rabbit season. Dad swears we hit the outhouse, but I really don't think we were shooting in that direction. But it made for a good story anyway.
Yeah.
Dad's convinced that it happened that way. But we have had some really, really good hunts, and then to see his kids, come up and get in the group and start hunting with us, and that's something my granddad always told me. He said, when you look back on life and you look back at your hunts, you're seldom going to remember what actually happened and the buck that was chasing the doe and this scrape line and that scrape line, but you're going to remember when you get back at camp and everybody tells a big lie about how many times they shot at a deer and missed, and he said those are the memories that you're going to have, and I think he's right.
Yeah. I can probably vouch for that. I've got a lot of memories going hunting with people, and sometimes it's not, like I said, it's not what you see in tree stand or something like that. I mean, yeah, it's going to be instances, but it's who you go with and what you build and what, relationship you build with them and friendship and just lifetime memories and stuff like that. I mean, we can go on and on. Each one of us that has memories with the people we hunted with and stuff. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm going to tell myself that, oh gosh, it's hilarious. You're going to have a kick out of this one. So, I was with my godfather. We was hunting in Virginia City. And this property we was hunting on, the only way you can get to it was a little spot beside a railroad track you had to park at, and you had to walk beside the railroad track to get down to the property. And I guess it was 200 or 300 yards down. Well, I had to use the bathroom really bad that morning, okay? Like, really bad. Like, we had breakfast. We actually had that breakfast, that gas station in Coburn right there below the elementary school. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, D&J, I believe they called it.
They got some good biscuits. I don't know about now, but anyways, back then they did. So, I had to use the bathroom really bad. And I'm like, Pops, I can't wait till he was like, well, those little metal stations they have, they go and check, whatever. He said, well, just go behind there and use it. I'm like, all right. He's getting his, and it's about 4 or 5 of us. They're all getting a hunt stuff together. So I go behind there and I'm using it. Well, Brad, here comes a train. Here comes a train. And I'm like, yes, look, all I can do, I'm like, oh, God. I'm right in the middle of it. All I can do is just wait, man. but yeah, and I still remember to this day. I'm like, oh my gosh! I remember I've had some crazy stories too.
But it's stuff like that.
Stuff like that, and they was horse laughing at me.
Yeah.
But it was definitely good memories.
And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my family, but I'm thankful for people like Tony. When I was a kid, that a lot of those guys took me under their wing. I had so many
Right.
hunting buddies that took me under their wing and would let me go with them and things like that. So I really appreciated that and the memories.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We ready?
Yeah.
Ready to draw this thing? Who won it?
All right, Bo Bricky.
Bo Bricky won it.
Bricky.
Bo Bricky. Hey, Bo. You know what? He actually deserves this,
I was gonna
man.
say, he likes
Because
all this stuff.
he supports us like
absolutely.
always, and Bo's a good guy. Hey, actually, we grew up in he's railroad tracks line. He's Sawmill. I'm Ramsey, but he's actually one of those guys I actually went to school with and graduated with that pretty much we grew up right down the road from each other, and he supported us from ever since day one with this. And dude, I'm so happy that he won it, dude. And,
awesome.
Hey, Bo, matter of fact, I'm gonna bring this to you personally, all right? But I remember you said you was gonna get me something for my birthday. It ain't till October, but thank you, by the way. I appreciate it.
Bo will have to share a picture of the longbeard he calls in with that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Hey, before we go, if y'all need turkey hunting supplies, I was down at Beverly's this week. Like I said, I'm not going to talk too much about it or get in trouble again. But they've got the TSS turkey rounds. Oh, that's so funny, Lamar.
I'm sorry, because I know your wife and stuff. Like, I wish I was a fly on the wall and I heard that.
Yeah. Anyway, TSS turkey rounds, those are hard to get, especially. They had a whole stack of them in, I believe, 20 and 12. And they got a bunch of calls. So go check them out.
And I want to thank Aaron as well.
Yeah.
His family, they've had a gun and pawn shop as long as we've had one 5 or 6 miles from them, and what seemingly I guess would be a competitive nature there. Aaron has always been a friend of mine, and he's supporting me on my campaign, and,
awesome.
and I really appreciate him, and I'm really glad he's sponsoring you guys and doing things like this.
I appreciate it. Yeah. They're definitely been good to us.
All right.
So, is that it?
I think so. Let me make sure we ain't got any other comments.
Okay.
I think we're good. Oh, Abigail.
Uh-oh. That's his wife, by the way.
Abigail said she was going to start a GoFundMe account for my hunting hat.
Wait till we get him into coon hunting.
Well, maybe after I lose 50 more pounds. Marcia said, Brett, you got our vote. Deborah Fleming said, Brett Hall, you got this. Just a bunch of people rooting for you. So
that's awesome.
That's awesome. Just get out. That's that's one thing to say something, but to show it
Right,
at the polls.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, we gotta have people at the polls.
That's
If we don't have votes, we don't win.
Yeah,
that's
that's right.
That's the bottom line.
So Saturday, April 30th, noon to 4.
That's right. Central High School.
All right.
Yep.
That it?
That's it.
All right. Hey, thank y'all for watching our live podcast. Hey, if you haven't yet, go like us on Facebook, our Instagram, and chop that YouTube subscribe button. Antlers Deep Outdoors. Hey, we appreciate y'all. Hey, remember to put God first. Love you guys.